Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today in this video, I will introduce about the animation. If we use animation properly in the website, it will attract users more and they will want to come back to our website more often. So to use animation, we have two ways. The first way is use transition property and another way is we can use animation property. So I will show for you the animations in HTML file. I have the class of element a animation. In style, I will configure some property for object animation with the width a 100 pixel and background color a blue and check the line center and we also have point one ring. To you animation transition, we need to have uh, an action to object like hover, click, link, or active. So in this case, I will use the action in hover. I will change I will choose the object to have an effect. You transition a width. I want width from 100 pixel to 400 pixel when hover. So when I hover mouse on the object, you can see it will change. The width is very fast, but it's not good for experiment for user because they want the objects to move slower. So in this case, I will solve this problem by using transition property. With transition property, we have four property of transition, including transition property, transition duration, transition timing function, and the end, a transition delay. With transition property, it will define what's the object we want to apply transition. In this case, we want to apply for the width in hover in here. So we copy width and paste in here. Transition duration is the time it will happen to transform from width 100 pixel to 400 pixel in a time. In this case, I will choose 2 seconds. Also, we have another unit is million second. Transition timing function is the way it happens transition speed on the path in 2 seconds. It maybe have the speed a default. We have a ease value with the first it's very slow and the between is more faster and the end is slow and we will save and hover mouse. You can see we in the beginning and the end is slower than the beginning. We also have E in is slow in beginning. We have the E out slow is the end. We have a E in out slow in the beginning and the end, and we want the speed happens equally on the back. We use the value is linear. So when I hover mouse, you can see the speed of it is equally on its back. We also have the value of cubic barrier. Cubic barrier it will define the coordinates of two points. The first point will have the value of coordinate x1, y1 a 2.2 uh, 75 and the coordinate of y y1 a 0.82 and the second point will have the coordinate a with x1 is x2 a 0.165 and y2 a 1. I will inspect for you can see. So we can see here we have a lot of circle and we can if each circle a have the equal speed on the back. We can see here it connect for each other equally. But with e now we have the slow in the beginning. We can see we have a lot of the circle a overflow on each other. But in the between we can see it have a less circle in here, and the end is lower when we have a lot of circle. It's in here we have a slow in beginning and fast in the beginning, and the end is lower. So we have the value of EL. If we can see here we have a lot of circle in here is low in the end, and we have the beginning in the big in the between a father. So we can change the first point in here. It will change it out to cubic failure with the coordinates. So we have the first point in here and the second point in here. And default, the first point will have the coordinates a x1, y1, 0, 0. And the second point will have the value x2, y2, a 1 and 1. So we can change the first point and second point to see what the speech happened, the transition in here, and we can copy the value of it in the bottom, and we will pass in here in the timing function when we say it. So when we hover, we also see the applied the timing function in cubic failure. With transition delay, we want to delay when hover the object, and after the delay time it will happen the animate. So I want to delay a 3 second, and also we have not the unit a million second. I will say you can see when I hover 1 2 3, and after 3 seconds it will happen the animation. So we have, if we want to apply transition for another property like background color, I want to change the blue to red. I will put the background colors in here a red, and I will hover. The red color is very fast, but I want is to apply the transition, I will put the comma in here and type the name of property in background color. I will remove the delay for easily to see. You can see here when I hover mouse on the object, it happen together with and background color and in 2 seconds. So because when we don't type any the value in transition duration, so it will yield the comma value including transition duration and timing function. So if I want to background color a happened animation in 4 seconds, I will put the comma in here in 4 seconds. So when I hover in the object, you can see here. So the width will happen in 2 seconds, but the background color will happen animation in 4 seconds. If we have another value, I want to change the color to yellow from the black to yellow. So the color I need to put in here with the comma is color. So it will happen like this. The width will get 2 seconds. Background color will get 4 seconds. But the third value color, so it doesn't find any the value for the color. If we put in here a 5 seconds, the color will have the duration in 5 seconds. But if we remove it, it will reset to the first value as color will have the value of duration in 2 seconds. And if we have the for the value like border, it will take the next value in 4 seconds. Okay. So now we have another way to write both for property related to transition a one line is use the shorthand a transition. With transition shorthand, we will define the property we want to apply transition a with, and the next value is transition duration is 2 seconds, and the next value is timing function a linear, and the end a delay. We don't have any value in here. I will comment this. And when I hover, you can see the width a apply with transition. So if we want to apply the transition for the background color, we use comma in here a background color, and with the transition duration is 4 seconds and timing function is e in. So something similar with color, and we 5 seconds and e out. When I hover in the object, it also happens animation. So we have another way where we'll combine all the objects in hover animation together in with background color and so on. So we can use transition and we push R in the first, and after that we use the common value of transition duration, timing function and delay. Have 2 seconds for both three objects. And we have a linear and delay 2 seconds. So when I hover in the object, 1, 2, and happen animation. So this is transition. So now we will go to in another property, a more complex than transition, a animation property. So which animation property we don't need to use any the action on the object like the hover or link. So we use animation. We put animation property in here, animation. The first value of animation, we have an animation name. After that, animation duration, animation timing function, animation delay, animation iteration count, animation direction, and finally we have the animation view mode. So after we use animation, we want to use animation. We need to define the keyframe of animation. So we use keyframe here, which identifier of keyframe is the name. So identifier, we want to the object move from the top to bottom. We will define with the name is top to bottom. And with animation name, we will put the name is top to bottom. And in keyframe, we have the from and to, from and to. We will apply the CSS in from and to. In from, we will change the margin top the 0 to margin top the 4 400 pixel. So the next value is the value of animation duration in the time it will happen animation. Something similar with the transition duration in here. So I will give the time a happen animation in 2 seconds. And the third value is the value of timing function is something like transition timing function in here. So I will use the linear, and when I say it, we can see. So I will remove some object in here. You can see it will go from the top to bottom with matching top is 0 to matching top is 400 pixel. So the continue we have the delay animation delay will delay animation before it happened in 2 seconds. So I want to animation delay in 1 second, and we'll say it. You can see after 1 second it will happen animation from the from to in here. So the next is iteration count. Iteration count is the default. Iteration count will have the value is 1. So it will happen once cycle of animation and it will finish. So when I say it, you can see it happens one time and finish. But now I want it to happen 2 times. I will push iteration count is 2. 1 and 2. So it's finished. But I want it happens infinitely. I will use infinite in here. It will happen infinite. So we also move to another value of animation direction. Animation direction is the direction of animation. It will go from the from in CSS in from to CSS in to in here. And other hand, go to from the to from and reverse of it. So we have the value, the default value is normal. It will go from the CSS in from to CSS in to. And if we use the value in reverse, it will reverse from marching top 40 400 pixel to 0. And we have another value a alternate. Alternate will go from the from to and go to from the to from. But we need to define the iteration count in more than two time. So I will put it in two time in here. And go from the top to bottom and the bottom to top a alternate. Also we have alternate reverse. They go to from the bottom to top and top to bottom. Bottom to top and top to bottom. So we also have another value, a value of fill mode. So fill mode, we will have the value a forward, a when the default, when we apply the CSS from and into, it will reset to default value in animations class in here. But when we use forward fill mode, it will apply the CSS into in here in the end. So and you can see here in the end is also use the marching top a 400 pixel in here. We also have the value of uh, backward a when we have delay in here. I want to delay it 3 seconds and I remove backward. You can see after 3 seconds it will happen animation, but I want to change it for 100 pixel for easy to see. You can see it's 100 pixel in here and go to the marching top 400 pixel in here. After we delay, but if we use the value if backward in the time of delay is 3 seconds, it will yield the CSS of from with matching top in 100 pixel. And after 3 seconds, it will happen animation from in here and to. I will say it. You can see in the first time it will lie in here in 100 pixel matching top. So we also have another value of pole. It connect compile between an animation view mode backward and forward together. We have a bold value. So if we want to compile animation top to bottom with another animation, so I will define another keyframe in here, a keyframe. So I want it rotate. Want you, we don't need to use from in this case. We only use two, which the transform rotate a 360 degree D here. And we put with the comma in here and we define the rotate. And I want it will rotate in 1 second and infinite, linear and infinite. So we can see here we can compile two animation together. In here I will use infinite, linear, infinite, 0. We compile two animation together. One is top to bottom and second is rotate. So we can use from to two. Also, if we want to have more control to animation keyframe, we also use the percent in here from same like 0% into a 100%. Also, in between of 0 and 100%, we can use another value, a 20%. And so in this case, I want 20% a have margin top a 300 pixel with 100%. I want it to 200 pixel. When I say it, you can see. Let's go from 0 to uh, 300 pixel in here and go to 200 pixel in here. I will remove the rotate here. We can easy to see 0 and 300 pixel with 20% and go to 100% which to 20 pixel. So the percent in here, this will make the keyframe. We have a more keyframe. We have the 1/10% and etc. below. So it will make the animations more smoothly. So to the end of the video, I will introduce the real object. We use usually a spinner. So with spinner, we usually use the touch body, a bootstrap or material UI. But now we can define manually by by myself. So we can define the spinner, which class spinner in here. Uh, sorry, spinner. As in CSS5, I you have spinner class and which is 60 pixel and height a 60 pixel. We have the border a 6 pixel solid and straight. I will change some opacity. We have here, and I want it to circle. I will change the border radius a 50%, and I will change the color top a border top's color a red. So we have the spinner like this, and we use animation in spinner with the animation property animation with the name a rotate. We define a keyframe here a rotate, and with once animation duration 1 second, and its animation timing function a linear, and animation um, iteration count is infinite. How you say it? You you will have the spinner in here. So we finish animation with two properties: a animation with transition property and animation with animation property. So thank you everyone for watching this video to the end. If you like this video, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss other videos in the future. Goodbye everyone and see you in the next videos.